Up and over. Haven't seen it like this since the old days. Pretty nice morning here. Drying up here, folks. We got a load of anchovy in the net here. Let's see. Beautiful anchovies. Like when we were kids.
You don't get seasick when you wear these. There's no lenses. I don't know what the water shit is supposed to do, but one of our passengers was wearing these things trying not to get seasick.
Was he seasick?
He was puking, and that's why I have his glasses now.
Yep. There we go. Come on. He just hit it. Come on.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, this lovely Tuesday morning. It is so great to be spending time with you. It's a lovely day. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's overcast, but we're kind of used to that here in 2023 in SoCal. It's been that kind of a year. But the fishing's been anything but cool. It's been red hot, and it's continuing that way. We've got updates from south of the border. We've got some tremendous nighttime fishing that went on last night. We've got some great daytime bluefin tuna fishing, more yellowfin tuna pushing up the coast, and of course barracuda just about everywhere you look. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, that coffee tastes so good in the morning. And man, I'll tell you, we've got so much to cover with you. Before we get into it, if you don't mind, hit that like button. It means so much to us. Share these videos. You can do that right now. Hit the share button and share it with somebody that you love. And also don't forget to subscribe. We are starting to bear down on 10,000 subscribers now, and I owe that all to you. Thank you so very much for the thousands upon thousands of hours consumed by each and every one of you every single month. Really, really appreciate it. Hey, how about that lead? And thank God those guys were rescued down there in La Paz, Baja California Sur. That was some awfully nasty looking seas, if you ask me. And Pat Whitaker making those anchovies. That's pretty good stuff. By the way, I have something. Well, let me just tell you right now. If you're a private boater and you're fishing this weekend and you're going to be anywhere around Catalina Island, Pat Whitaker and the Mañana will be east of Avalon, Channel 11. Also, you can call that phone number. He'll have bait for you this weekend. The Mañana east of Avalon. Breaking news here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. And Pat will have bait for you. My advice, call him because he moves around a lot. He might be out of bait. Reach him on his phone. You can set up something early perhaps right now. But text him, call him on Channel 11 east of Avalon this Saturday and Sunday. But make sure you talk to him and make sure everything is going along just perfectly. And as we had that lead in also, man, that was too much with the glasses Goofy was wearing to prevent seasickness. That is some pretty good stuff. My hat's off to you for a good bit there. All right, let's get into it with you all. First of all, on the other side of the border, there is a steady flow of yellowfin tuna pushing their noses up here. We had some Dorado caught yesterday. That's good news also, just a little bit. But this is all evidence that the El Nino is trying to manifest itself, even though we still have cool water here in Southern California. And I believe the door is still open for an albacore run this year because we have this cool water, because you see all of that anchovy. But at the same time, the El Nino is starting to shove Dorado and yellowfin tuna. And at some point in time when the whole oceanography kind of changes and it goes warm, it's going to get even more insane. Those bluefin will bite even more ferociously, and then you'll have yellowfin and you'll have Dorado and who knows what else in that warm water. But for the time being, I still think we've got a shot at albacore. Now, Captain Tom Holland, he doesn't think so. He thinks it's about over, and he points to San Francisco where they've had some really good albacore fishing here. I'm going up to the northern zone right now just to let you know that the albacore are just starting to show up. They have some very poor windy weather out there. Might keep them in the docks. But Salty Lady Sportfishing had a good catch of fat albacore here recently, and that is good news. By the way, they are trying to schedule trips. Their number 415-548 0150. In case you've got to get an albacore fix, you might want to call those guys. And of course, I've been talking to other guys up there, and they are starting to take note that there's algae up there. Hopefully that's going to continue for them. They've also had a little shot of bluefin. Tom Holland thinks that's a very poor sign for here in SoCal, and he may be right. Only time will tell, but we're still keeping the door open here. We still think with this cool water, this anchovy, there's a chance that algae shows up here before the water gets too warm with this El Nino. All right, south of the border, we continue to see some really great rock fishing in Ensenada, but there's also bluefin, more yellowfin. There's been some jurel, some yellowtail down there. There's barracuda. There's all kinds of surface action. You fish the Punta area, you can have some phenomenal days of calico bass fishing. I absolutely love fishing that part of our world because it's so picturesque, and the rugged Baja coast, it's just so beautiful. And then you're plunking out some nice 3 to 5 pound calico bass. There isn't anything much better than that. So good fishing over there. And again, hit and miss on the tuna just like everywhere, but they still have a very good shot at bluefin and yellowfin. There's yellowtail, there's barracuda, there's all of that stuff. The fallback is some excellent rock fishing down there in that neck of the woods. Just talked to Diego Nuno a second ago, and my buddy Joe Martinez. He's such a great guy, such a great angler. He's on board the Royal Star. They had a real whack last night on the bluefin. Tremendous fishing as they had 45 BFT, and there's some big ones lurking now. I mean, you might catch a 20-pounder, but you might catch a 200-plus pound bluefin tuna. That's why I always recommend that you have a 2-speed reel and 100 to 130 pound. I like 130 pound ready to go. And I mentioned to you also, the daytime fish sometimes are finicky, so you're going to need 25-pound fluorocarbon, 30-pound fluorocarbon, 40-pound fluorocarbon to get a bite. Sometimes a number 1 hook, sometimes a 2-0 hook. So you've got to be ready to fish some lighter line in the daytime and smaller hooks. That makes a huge difference. By the way, www.opsonusa.com. OpsonUSA.com. Put in FA at checkout for a hug, a kiss, and a free gift from owner Greg Brown. So keep that in mind. Some other scores for you. The Pacific Queen 26 guys on a 3-day. 138 bluefin tuna, 10 yellowfin tuna, 26 on the yellowtail. Pretty darn good hit there. Now, there has been some scores down there and some misses, like less than a fish per rod. So it's not a slam dunk for everybody. Keep that in mind, that not everybody's getting them, but some of the boys that consistently catch them are continuing to do just that. And I don't know how you can beat it. Really great fishing going on. Now, the Thunderbird last night, Jeff Markland reporting that they had to go around on the big stuff. They went 4 for 10 on the extremely big grade bluefin tuna. 200-pound stuff wandering around there. And Jeff Markland, captain of the Thunderbird, says, you've got to bring 2 speeds. You've got to bring like 80 to 100 to 130 pound. And he said the best jigs weighed 200 to 300 grams here. That was really effective last night on the Thunderbird on big grade bluefin tuna. So that is really great news, as that is a reality here for LA Orange County based boats also. So tremendous fishing and a good shot at some super big fish. Back to San Diego, I want to take you. Tim's a young man who was on board the Mission Belle yesterday from the East Coast. I forget exactly where, but fishing on the Mission Belle, and a lot of the local boats yesterday was slow. Grande, same thing. Mission Belle, San Diego, had some yellows. I'll talk about that in a moment. But Tim came from the East Coast. Then he got his first bluefin tuna, so that kid was thrilled on board the Mission Belle. A Grande just picked at him yesterday. The San Diego, I think he had 14 yellowtail yesterday, 17 yellowtail, something like that. No tuna. There's plenty of bluefin around for those full-day boats, guys that leave in the morning, come back in the evening. So hang on. That's still going to come together. I guarantee you that. Also at San Clemente Island, we continue to see some decent yellowtail action on fish that are 5 to 15 pounds, like that. Great at the island itself. Every once in a while, you'll catch a bigger one. Fury, 17 yellows, and 3 bluefin for 22 guys. The Thunderbird, before last night, had 10 yellows, 2 bluefin to 100 pounds. They had that go around last night. Other boats have been doing quite well. The Amigo just returning from a great trip where they had tremendous bluefin and yellowfin tuna fishing. A lot of that is around right now, and it just continues to impress. I'm telling you, when that water gets a little bit warmer, it's gonna go insane. Not that it isn't already. Tremendous sport fishing opportunities going on. So some great stuff going on up and down the coast. Guys out of Dana Wharf have seen local fish, bluefin that is. So it just seems like that spread of bluefin goes from down below the border all the way up past San Francisco, and God only knows where they're going to pop up. And that yellowfin stretches several hundred miles down the Baja coast and is up here as far as San Clemente Island. When we get those El Nino warm waters in here, God knows where that's going to be. Could be on the oil rigs here off of Huntington Beach. It could end up anywhere. Only time's going to tell on that. I'm dreaming about the great fishing to come. By the way, we've got a day-and-a-half trip on board the Horizon, almost sold out. It sails on August the 15th, and fishing should be fantastic at that time. You want to reach out to Captain Bill Wilkerson to book on that trip. His number, 619-985-5179. Please give Bill a call or send him a text before it's too late to join us. August the 15th. I'll be there shooting a video. It'll be good to hang out with you for that great day and a half trip. All right, as we mentioned, San Clemente Island has some yellows. The Coronado Islands also has some really good yellowtail fishing at times. You know, anywhere from, I want to say 5 to 20 yellows for most of the boats that are fishing there. There's good barracuda, bass, rockfish, all of that stuff. Coronado Islands have been pretty darn good, and at the times when that surface stuff doesn't bite, you can fall back on some excellent rock fishing, no question about that. Also, Catalina Island, where Pat Whitaker will be on the Mañana this weekend, providing bait for you private boaters. Incidentally, mention Friedman Adventures, and Pat will do something for you. I'm not sure what. I hope it's nothing that is X-rated or anything like that. He'll give you a discount if you mention Friedman Adventures. Make sure you confirm that when you call him, and Pat will take really good care of you, especially if he knows you're with the Friedman Adventure family. That is for sure. Cat, some decent yellowtail fishing. I want to say, you know, anywhere from 1 to 10 yellows, sometimes no yellows, and then a little bit of bass and barracuda and bonita and that kind of stuff. For the most part, pretty good action at Catalina Island. Channel Island area, the barracuda bite kind of took a little bit of a powder yesterday, but it should come roaring back up there. I'm suspecting that that fish just moved, or you know, the guys didn't get on it. The Cobra yesterday had 17 barracuda, Aloha Spirit at 18 barracuda and a couple of halibut. And of course, everybody, we continue to see really good rock fishing going on. So that is a given up there in the Channel Islands. If they turn their attention to the rockfish, it's normally off the hook fishing up there in that neck of the woods. Now, our local situation down there in San Diego, we continue to see really good rockfish down there, but there's also some good calico bass fishing going on, and in addition to that, occasional halibut, that kind of thing. On the Daily Double yesterday, a really special person was out fishing, and she was celebrating her birthday. So we want to send our best wishes from Friedman Adventures to Kim Terrell Babbage and wish her a happy birthday. She caught that nice halibut while celebrating her birthday. Couldn't happen to a nicer person. Kim, happy birthday from all of us. I hope you had a great one, and I hope all these days for the rest of the year, I hope you find lots of fish and lots of happiness. That is for sure. All right, on the coast also, up here in this neck of the woods, great barracuda fishing. You saw the lead in as the Victory has been all over it. The Enterprise has had great fishing, 146 gar yesterday for 34 guys. The Monte Carlo in the afternoon, 42 anglers, 49 barracuda. Of course, the best way to take barracuda is on the iron, a surface iron. I love a Tatty C. Tatty 45 is great. I love a single hook because it is so darn easy to shake those things off, get them in your sack, get them back in the water, whatever it is you're going to do with those gar. They're good eating if you take good care of them. And man, I'll tell you, some fun fishing going on. It's been a little hit and miss over the weekend as there was a tremendous amount of boat pressure. But right now, I think that gar hopefully is on the bite again. Nice looking ocean here. Very calm, very beautiful. A little foggy. Might be a little bit tough to find some of the gar if they're bird schools, but those fish have been kind of hanging out in specific areas, and those guys should be able to get on that stuff. Again, we showed you on the lead-in some great thresher shark fishing, and that has been going on. We've seen a lot of that. James Mosier, our Friedman Adventure family member, had that nice go around on the thresher sharks. You know, speaking of threshers, when the guys are making bait, Pat Whitaker and his crew were making bait, and it was so dark they couldn't see this thresher shark, and it just whipped its tail, tore a big hole in the slicker gear of one of his deckhands, and bruised the heck out of the poor guy. So those thresher sharks are something else, whipping those big old tails that they have. And of course what they do is they swim through a school of bait, whip that tail around, stun the bait, and circle around. And man, it's easy pickings for dinner. After the bait's stunned, they just come back and vacuum it all up. Really a magnificent creature, no question about it. So pretty good stuff. Kevin Brown says, no boat, no problem. Fishing on the Venice Pier, nice halibut for him. Great job, Kevin. Happy to see that happening. And there's been an extraordinary amount of halibut along our coastal regions this year. We've seen good fishing on the Lucky Crab lures. And of course, as you move toward a Grunion Run, which is right on the horizon again, that's when those halibut get up and start to feed and really get going. A little bit of Corvina up and down, and still some good barred perch fishing as Valentino makes his appearance on the Friedman Adventures show. Great guy. All right, there's a lot going on, including our live show tonight over there at Island Fishing Tackle with Sam De La Torre. It's going to be a great one. Sam will be covering all these hot bites. He'll be showing you the tackle that you need to be successful on the water right now. And more importantly, you can ask all the questions your little heart desires, as long as you don't push us past 4 hours on the show. Just kidding. We'll go as long as it takes. Sam and I have a great time on that show. And so many of you are so kind. We are, having trouble staying on our diets. You guys send us so much food. People send pizzas and desserts and all kinds of stuff, and I can't thank you enough for that. Remember, I'm on the carnivore diet, so some kind of a chunk of meat or chicken or something like that. That's for me. All right. Wishing you a great day. Always great spending time with you. Sounded like some good nighttime fish. There's a lot of big bluefin that have pushed into the zone now. Keep that in mind. Pat Whitaker in the manana at Catalina Island, east of Avalon. Call them, set it up right now. And of course, I'll be keeping you in touch with all the very latest throughout the day, right up to our 6 p.m. live show from Island Fishing Tackle. All right, have a great day, my friends. And as always, I can't thank you enough for all you are doing to push our stats so high. So many of you tuning in every single day. Have a great one, and I hope to see you all really, really soon.